hopefully my night shooting video didn't turn out too terrible. I told you guys I would show you an update on my patio tomatoes and everything that I got going on as I continue to fill my green stalks, and just a general growth update from the last. So let's take a look at that real quick. So it's kind of a mess right now. I've cleaned up most of the extra detritus. I need to get the broom and sweep out here. But all those cups and containers, we planted all of that stuff out here in the last day and a half or so. So this is my bin that I keep my potting mix in. So we have my planter that has bok choy and chives and garlic. The chives probably will all bolt while I am gone. It's really hard to leave at this point in the garden season, but at the same time, I haven't seen my mom in 3 years now, I think. So we're way overdue, and things will just be what they will be. I have things all set up, so my husband is going to water while I am gone. I'm gonna make him out a list and run him through all the different spots that need a drink every day if it's really hot, every other day otherwise. But here is the original green stalk with the deeper pockets. So we did the orange hat tomatoes on either side of the top, and I think that's a shishito pepper. I was in such a hurry because I had so much to do that I didn't get any of this marked after I put it in. I'm not too worried about it. I will know what it is, especially once the peppers start producing. It'll be pretty obvious. So these nasturtiums, I just love the shape of nasturtium leaves. They're so pretty. So the other stuff around the back is amaranth that I am growing just for salad leaves. And there's some parsley and some petunias. I think that's a blue spice basil right there. Oh, I do have one empty pocket still around the back. That's the hardest one to get to. It may just stay empty for now. So we have peppers, peppers, peppers. These poor things are looking so rough. Hopefully now that they're planted where they're gonna be with more room, they will recover. It's gonna be really interesting to see what all this looks like when I get back. And then around this side, like I said, the amaranth, some nasturtiums, peppers. There's a little bok choy there. He's looking thirsty. I'm gonna hit all these pockets with some water when I get done filming here. Petunias. And my herb planter. I think I said earlier in the video, probably, I really need to come through here and just trim off like half of this oregano towards the middle because it is blocking out this parsley. May not get to it before I leave. Cherry tomatoes, garlic, petunias. Flowers. I'm probably gonna miss the first cherry tomatoes, and that makes me sad. I'm gonna have my husband collect them, and he can take them to my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law and my niece, and they will really appreciate them. So since I started this video a day ago, we have another pie pumpkin. Oh, looks like 2 pie pumpkins have come up. Still waiting on the, oh no, we do have 1 Charleston gray watermelon. None of my Lakota squash has come up yet, and only 1 of my honey boat squash. So I really hope we get a little more germination on those. They're new seeds, so it's not like they're old or anything. And a bunch of cucumbers, still no zucchini. Only 1 of the early spring cucumbers, and none of my nasturtiums just yet. I'm gonna put a little bit of water on this. I put some underneath, but for some of these that haven't sprouted yet, I wanna make sure the top doesn't dry out too much. Crookneck squash in the cups. These are San Marzano and Mr. Stripey tomatoes, and these ones are lemon seeds. This one, this one, this one, this one, that one. That little one. I didn't think that little one was gonna do anything. I just left it there because I didn't have time to do anything with it. And lo and behold, it is growing. Sometimes they'll surprise you. I'm still gonna try to separate those before I leave. Spoiler alert, I did not get to these peppers, and my sister-in-law did wind up taking care of them for me. She saved quite a few of them and put them in the in-ground garden. I saw they are, let's see if I can maybe get in close enough to show you, they are starting to put on just the very beginning of their first true leaves, so they need to get out of that cup. Bok choy is just gonna live its best life doing its thing because I do not have time to change that planter out. Merlot lettuce, Principi tomato, Prairie Fire tomato. These are other tomatoes that I'm gonna have to find other homes for, or they're gonna go in the compost bin. I did plant one more Roma in a bucket with some nasturtiums. And I did plant one more Prairie Fire in a bucket over here. I did just pot up the citronella. I love citronella. It smells so good. Alright, so the leaf planter, greenstalk leaf planter. I did do probably a good third of this in my onions. These are what we did the first video that was shot at night. These are a Red of Florence shallot style onion. So you can see most of the back of this, because onions don't need tons of light to thrive. And this is the side facing the back of my house. And then I tried to stick to mostly herbs and, you know, leafy greens and things, because they don't need as much root space. That's what this is designed for. So we have a few pockets of little bok choy that are traumatized, but hanging in there. And you can see that one's already starting to go to seed. I should have probably not planted it, or I bet you it was already doing this, but I didn't see it because I was working half in the dark. That's fine. It can hang out there until I get back. These will probably all go to seed, and that's fine. 'Tis what it is when life is happening and you just have to keep moving. So I'm really hoping that these get some better color. This is sweet marjoram, and it is struggling because it got left way too long in its cups, and I'm sure it dried out more often than was ideal because of where it was. I think I see some growth on here that's healthy, but it's really pretty the way that it hangs out of the pockets. So I'm excited to cook with some sweet marjoram when I get home, hopefully. And this is also looking rough. You can see I was really overextended this year. I'm gonna have to figure out, I don't know, maybe I'll figure out a different plan next year so that I'm not so overextended, and or I just will not start seeds for anything besides my container garden, and the family garden will just have to figure something else out. I don't know. We'll see. I probably won't be able to talk myself out of it in February when it's time to start seeds. That's when the madness really occurs. Basil, some sad looking lettuce that should recover in a few days. Purple basil. I keep calling this purple opal basil, and I can't remember now if it's purple opal or purple something else. It was on the packet. It wasn't actually purple opal, or maybe it's just an interchangeable name. And more parsley. I think I have 1, 2, 3, I have like 4 pockets of parsley on here, because, and like this one's pretty sad, but it will recover, I have no doubt. Same with this one. Parsley's pretty hardy once you get it situated. Wish I had more room, I could film this better for you guys. So I just kind of plugged in what I had that needed homes, and it's just gonna chill here for 3 weeks while I'm gone and grow, and we'll see what it'll be super interesting to see what it looks like when I get back. This tray is just extras plus my Texas grano onions. I'm gonna take those out to the family garden and just plug them in wherever there's a spot. And that is the end of what we got going on out here. My little orange hat tomatoes. The sun is setting back there. So as you can see, this is the whole thing in its entirety from the yard area that's just beyond my patio. It's not huge, just a little bit of a grassy area. And it's a mess right now, but you know, that's life sometimes. I forgot to show you. I did cave and put in a few in the ground. This is really dense clay, so I don't know how well they'll do. They get so light, but I figured since half of these plants are headed for a compost pile anyway, I lose nothing by plugging them in here and seeing what they do. Maybe I'll be surprised and it'll work out well. And we'll do it from now on. We'll find out.